Alright, David Harry here, and in this video I'm going to be just walking around and doing some talking to my Hero 10 Black, but using my favourite vlogging microphone of all time, and that is the Rode Video Micro. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just give ourselves a few minutes of a taste of how this combination works, at least for someone with a voice like mine. Now what I'm going to do, I'll just try and flash through as quickly as I can the settings that I've got on the go here, and I'm just still experimenting basically with the 10, just to try and get my kind of best settings, as it were. So let's see, as far as exposure is concerned, I am on auto for the shutter. I've got the ISO range between 100 to 200. Colour, I've got it on flat at the moment. Again, need to start experimenting with various things. White balance, I've got that set down to 4500 Kelvin. I personally shoot slightly under what the light condition is. I tend to find I can get a bit better, more of a neutral colour. That's not just with the GoPro, that's in general. I would do that on Sony cameras. Yeah, let's see, stabilization on boosted. That's only because yesterday for my first vlog I did just the medium on, as it were, for the stab. So testing the stab here with its boosted mode. High bit rate, let's see, 5K should be 25 frames per second. Yesterday I couldn't find the frame rate inside the GoPro because it is hidden inside anti-flicker. I was looking for something that was going to say PAL or NTSC, couldn't find it. Let's see, that's probably thereabouts the settings that I'm on. Now what it is, what I might do actually, I might, as I'm walking through, I might switch things off and on, because there's a fair old chance I'm going to have to use at least, say, a gamma setting here, just to bring something back if it looks too washed out. So whilst I'm in a little shadow here, what I'm going to do, if there has been a change with the setting right now, this is what it looks like going in on its own, as it were. Okay, so that gives us an idea of the picture as it was, and right now, whatever I've done to mess it up in post is what we're doing right now. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get off right into glaring light here, because this whole touch the center of the frame to get you being the object of desire for the exposure, shall we say. Let's see how well it's going to do this, because although there is it's a bit cloudy, the sun is directly behind me here. So I'm going to turn around like that. Now I'm not falling within my own shadow. That sun looks like it's starting to go behind the clouds there a bit anyway. Now I'll start turning around here. Like I say, this is just that center weighted exposure thing, and hopefully it is, well, it's going to be picking me up as the center of the frame. Whether it's picking me face or me shirt, I don't know. Okay, sun's kind of creeping back out again there. Let's see, I can definitely see it's getting brighter on the floor there. So there we go, straight into the sun up behind me like that. Now I'll bend down like that. What it is, I'm trying not to fall under my own shadow. Well, in fact, I'll fall under my own shadow. Let's see what that's like. Okay, so that's me falling under my own shadow. That's me out of the shadow, sun directly up there. Now what I'll do, I'll turn around to a more sensible position here. So the sun is just off slightly to my left. I can't really go full on because of shadow, but that's going to give us a really good idea of how this is dealing with stuff. So don't forget, auto shutter and the ISO is locked between, well, not locked, but it can only travel between 100 and 200 quickly on this as well. I have done a video. If I can find it, I'll put a link in the description, or maybe throw it up here or at the end of the video. I did a video, very in-depth one, some time ago, to explain why you've got to really use auto shutter with the GoPro, especially because you're walking in and out of well lit areas and then shadowed areas and stuff like that. The other thing as well, people want to use NDs, and especially variable as well, obviously, so you can match exactly for the condition you're in to do with your exposure for the amount of light going on. Well, the thing is with all that, hello, there's a dog. Hello. Yeah, you okay? Yeah. Your human's calling. Your human's calling over there. Yeah, anyway, where was I up to there? Something to do with NDs, right? So the thing with NDs is, you know, with a GoPro, what it is, basically, in a nutshell, GoPros like to have high shutter and a lot of light because it helps their routine for stabilization. Now the thing is, if you're using a GoPro on a different, like on a gimbal, for instance, where you can switch off its stabilization, or if you've got a GoPro on a tripod, indoors or outdoors, doesn't matter, but as long as you've got the stabilizer switched off, you can then start using all kinds of stuff to get your 180 degrees and it'll be fine. However, it doesn't really work with, like, you know, the stabilizer to be fighting against an ND and stuff. I think I stayed too far on that one. That dog got me all confused. Anyway, so yeah, there we go. So I'm trying to see what these settings are going to do as far as like specific light differences are concerned. Now what it is, I'm going to go into an amazingly shaded area here. I'll carry on talking as I walk right through this. However, with this, where I'm going now, it goes really, really dark. I did this on my first vlog as well when I went fully auto. Now, I don't expect this to look any good in a second, only because the GoPro can only go up to 200 on the ISO because of the way I've set it. And although it's on auto shutter, I don't think it will go below 25 on the shutter, because hopefully I'm on 25 frames per second. But this will give us a really good idea right now as to what it is doing. I mean, this really is very low light in here. I mean, it might not be low light for something like me mate Trelly's A7 III or something, but for a GoPro or any small sensor camera, this is defo low light. You know, you can't really be expecting to do anything in conditions like this. In fact, let me walk through here. I won't hang around in here too much because this could just be one big whole dark mess. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to come out of here. In fact, it'll be interesting to see how it transitions now into like decent light. So I'm still a bit shaded, I'm still under tree cover, but I'm going to head out into one of the fields here. Sun will be behind me as well. Again, this is like, I'd say I am stressing this. So as well as this being an example of the Rode microphone, I need to get back to the mic in a second, although the whole thing is a test of the Rode mic. Okay, so I'm out into one of the fields. It is falling under like the shade or the shadow of trees. Sun's gone behind cloud for a bit here. In fact, I'll walk over to one of the main fields here as well. Hopefully we'll catch a bit more sun. Okay, so that should give us an idea of how the settings that I am using are affecting exposure going into like not so good conditions for light and stuff. In fact, stand still here. I will now do a cardioid polar pattern test, because obviously the Rode Video Micro is a cardioid microphone. So this is me straight on. Now this is me talking at 190-degree axis to the microphone. I should have dropped off a little bit. Now that's me talking from behind, and I should have hopefully have dropped off quite a bit more there. Now that is the other 90-degree axis. It should be getting a bit louder again compared to the back, and should be there about the same kind of level as it was for the other 90-degree. And then here I am back round to the front. Also, as I'm doing this, what I'm going to do is right now, this is the level exactly as it went in during the recording. But of course, you know, I boost stuff up in post, especially for the YouTube output, so I can compete with some of the loud stuff on YouTube. So I am back up to my level. Now my level here, the way I raise it up in post, what I do, I work out like out of my headroom, is, you know, like naturally out of the headroom, how many dBs worth or how much amplitude within the recording I could afford to lose without getting down to the, like, you know, the main body of the amplitude. So in essence, I tend to normally be able to like come down and put a ceiling at about 6 dB, and then what I do, I just resum that back up to 0. So in essence, I will always get at least 6 dB back out of a recording. Sometimes it's a lot more, because the natural level of the recording may not have been that loud, you see, so depending upon what goes on. But basically what I don't really squash the audio, so it's not like compression. I just take out, like, you know, the weaker higher dynamics and go more for the average of the amplitude, and then raise that amplitude closer to the 0 mark. Okay, so that's give us some real boring information about how I do my stuff in post for the audio. Okay, so there we go then. I think that'll probably do it for this video. Now, I was going to do the stuff by the road and all the rest of it. That's the road where the cars are, not the road microphone. I was going to do the stuff by the traffic and that, but you know, I don't know. It's all well and good listening to that stuff to hear what those rejections are like. However, it's not a scenario that most people will ever encounter, you know, because most people are not going to choose. I mean, there we go, there's traffic behind the camera over there now beeping. People are not going to choose to go into those environments to do their recordings. You may have to be there for doing ENG and stuff like that, or you just happen to walk past a noisy road, but that's not going to be how most people are going to vlog. So I don't know if I'll continue doing that test. I probably will, maybe, I don't know. Let us know in the comments if anyone's bothered, whether or not you want to know what this is like with all the traffic noises and things like that. However, the cardioid pattern test is a valid test, so always do that. There's no point actually as well doing like, you know, a silence test, because once you're outdoors, you know, you're going to be surrounded by that much other like background noise, no matter how quiet it is, that in essence you should always be recording something that should be louder than the actual inherent noise of a microphone or its own self noise. If it were any different than that, then you've got yourself a very noisy microphone, or the amp stage or the recording device is obviously a bit messed up. Sorry, quick jump cut there. What it is, I tried to do this whole thing in one take, but I just seen the battery going right down, so I thought, you know what, I best stop that just in case it cuts off and something weird happens and I lose that entire take. Anyways, yeah, like I say, there'll be links in the description below. I don't know whether I can recommend the GoPros just yet, or the 10, because I've not used it enough, but there'll be links and stuff to various things, the microphone and stuff like that. Anyways, yeah, if you've liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, consider subscribing to my channel, getting all over the bell notification icon in the process to be notified of similar videos in the future. I'm David Harry. Thank you very much for watching this video. Take care and goodbye now.